Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Joella, and in today's video I will be doing a story time on the time I lost my damn mind on edibles. So let's not comfort the hair. I finished undoing my hair a few hours ago, okay, so let's not talk about the hair, okay. But anyways, not only I, and I just want to say, first of all, the parents know what happened, which is why I'm finally making this video. Originally, I was supposed to make a video of the actual events of that day. Like, me and my sister, we filmed that day, and I was supposed to get footage of like us being high and stuff. I did not get footage because we were going through it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me do a story time when I'm sober, okay? And I didn't know that I was going to be sober. Like, I thought I was gonna be stuck like that forever. But as I was saying, it's gonna be a little story time. So basically, it was last month. It was in the month of July. It was in the middle of the month. Okay, we got weed edibles. Why? I will not tell you. From where we got it, at this store we've seen before. Okay, we got it at a store, but we got it online. Okay, we got it online. First of all, the man that came, he came like around the street in some gray broken down car, and he was hotboxing. So that should have been a red flag already. Well, anyways, it was the 15th on a Tuesday of July. We took it at around 12 p.m. Okay, and I read the packet, and it said it's gonna hit you around 2 to 4 hours. So I'm like, okay, we got this. This is nothing. And we originally thought, I thought that we were just gonna be zooted. We're gonna be high for a little while. It's all gonna be chill. Turns out that was not the predicament. It was hell. Okay, we were stupid. Please do not do what we did. We took 40 milligrams of edibles. That means we took 4. It was our first and last time doing so. Please do not do what we did, because you could have cardiac arrest. You could die of a heart attack, especially if it's your first time. Please don't do that. Don't be stupid like us. But as I was saying, we took 4. Okay, and after that, we had breakfast, and I was eating, and then at one point I couldn't eat because my chest felt like somebody was applying pressure to it, like pressing down on my chest. And then out of nowhere, I couldn't stop laughing. Like, I could not stop laughing. Like, I remember I was in the kitchen and my sister and my cousin were there, and I was literally laughing in their faces with a blank face. Okay, they were so disgusted and scared. And then I remember I was just laughing. I could not stop laughing. And then whenever I tried to speak, I would speak basically in riddles. When I would speak, I would repeat the same word in song as if I was in a musical. Okay, so I could not stop laughing. And then all of a sudden, I see my little sister. She has all her makeup removed. She's no longer wearing this black long sleeve. She wore a baggy t-shirt because she was going through it as well. I stopped eating because I could not stop laughing. Okay, it got so bad that I stopped eating because I didn't want to choke on my food. So I heard that if you're high, you just have to drink water. So I was downing water like my life depended on it. And during this time, my aunt wanted to speak to me and my sisters about some family drama or whatever. So I was no longer on the aisle. I was no longer sitting at the island of the kitchen. I was sitting on the actual dinner table. And my aunt was talking to us, and it was just excruciating, really excruciating. I remember my sister left to go to the basement because it was really bad for her. She could not stop laughing. And then she calls me, she's like, Joella, come. And then the moment I go to her, go to the basement, because we were sleeping in the basement, the moment I reached the basement door, I could not stop laughing. I burst into tears. I was on my knees laughing like crazy. And then she was also laughing, and we were speaking through laughter, with blank faces on. We were so scared. And then I remember my sister told my aunt, I don't feel good. I need Joella. So we went to the basement, and we were talking to my sister's friend, and we told her, we're high. We're scared. And as I was trying to talk to her friend, I could not I couldn't make sentences. I would literally just repeat the same word in song. I knew what I wanted to say, and I knew what I was trying to say, but I couldn't say it. Okay, I was losing my mind slowly. Okay, and so I was talking to my sister's friend. I'm like, yo, like, I'm scared. Search up the symptoms. Like, search up what happens, what goes on when you're high. Because I've never been high before. I don't know what I was going through. So I needed somebody to say, like, search up the symptoms because I was going through it. Okay, after that, we were in bed. And, I remember me and my sister, we just held each other in the bed. And we literally sunk. I felt like we were sinking in the bed. Like, it was so bad. And then after that, we went to the washroom. We put cold water on our face. And it worked for a little bit, but then it did not. It worked for a little bit, but then it just got worse. So we took my towel. And we just scraped our bodies, our faces with it so we could feel present in our body. Because as you're going through it, you literally go through an out-of-body experience. Okay, and after that, my aunt called us, so we had to go back upstairs. And we were at the dinner table, and she was talking. And at this point, like, I could still like feel the laughter, because it's like when it first happened, it's like this. It's like something burst out of my chest, and then when it burst out was the laughter, right? So now we're at the dinner table. And we're sitting listening to my aunt, and as my aunt is talking, I can hear her and I can see her, but it's like it's not registering in my brain. It's like I could hear what she was saying, but at the same time, it's like she was far away. It's like I couldn't really hear her. I couldn't really process what was going on. And I remember looking at my aunt's phone and reading. Like, I could read, I could see what was going on, but it's like at the same time, I'm like, what is that? And I remember my aunt was talking, and I just wanted to tell her to shut up, but I have respect for my aunt. I would never say that. But, I just wanted her to stop talking because I am going through it right now, okay? And so we're at the dinner table, she's talking, and basically everything starts going to hell. So first we have the laughter. Then we have me talking, repeating words over and over again in song, okay? And then after that, the third step, okay? Because this is a cycle. Everything was going in a circle. It was going in a cycle, repeating itself. Okay. After that, laughing. After that, the third thing was hell. Okay. So after that, we're just sitting, talking. I'm trying my best to keep my composure to make it seem like I'm normal and like I'm not going through it right now. So I'm just sitting down, and then all of a sudden, everything starts going in slow motion, and I start having like delayed reactions to stuff. And I was like losing my mind. I'm like, what's going on? And what was so trippy is that me and my sister were going through the exact same thing at the exact same time. Okay, so I remember I was there, and I was going through it. Like, everything was literally going in slow motion. Things started being zoomed out and zoomed in. I remember feeling like everything was spiraling, like everything around me, like as I'm looking, was going in this huge circle, and it was going like intensely, strongly, fast. And it's like I can see everything, but like at the same time, things look weird. Like, I could see everything, but like at the same time, I couldn't tell what I was seeing was real or not. Like, I could see my aunt, I could see the window, I could see the picture, but it's like at the same time, it's like this doesn't feel real. Like, I felt like my body was not. Like, I felt like I wasn't even in my body. I felt like I wasn't here, and this is not like your soul is out of your body. It's like deeper than that. Like, it was a disgusting feeling. It was gross. Like, I was scared. I was just sitting there. Everything is spiraling in a freaking circle in this like intense motion, and everything was going so slow. And it's like whenever I would try to do something, I had a delayed reaction. I remember trying to drink water, and as I was drinking, as I took the water, like it was crazy. I remember there was this cup of water that I took, and as I was taking my hand to get the water, like my hand is touching the glass, but I don't feel like my hand has arrived yet. Like, I can't touch it, but my hand is on it. And then after that, I start drinking water, and when I take the sip, the freaking cup zooms out and then zooms in, and I don't even feel like I'm drinking water. I don't even feel like my hand is on the cup and like my lip is on the cup. And then I was losing it. I was trying to keep my composure, and I remember gripping onto the table to stabilize myself so I could feel like so I could feel grounded, and not like my body is not inside its own body, And I was just trying to keep my composure, and I was just trying my best to seem like I was normal when I was not. I was slowly losing it, but I did not want to admit it. And so I remember I almost fell off the chair, and so I stood up because I had to do something that was going to keep me grounded, that was going to make me feel like I'm alive, like I'm not crazy. And so I remember I was in the kitchen and my cousin was talking to me about, bread or grilled cheese, and I'm like, stop it, stop it, stop it. And he was like, okay, like, are you good? And I'm like, pinch me, pinch me, pinch me, pinch me. And he's like, okay. So he pinched me. I wanted him to pinch me so I could feel pain, so I could feel grounded, like I was in my body, like I had control of my body, because I literally felt like I had no control over my body. After that, things started spinning even more. Things started to go into slow motion real bad, real fast, real intense. Like I could barely walk. I felt dizzy, and I just tried my best to act normal, like everything was okay. And then my sister, she lost it. I remember my sister, she like jumped into my aunt's arms, and she's like, yeah, so we took something we shouldn't have, and I'm currently high and I'm scared. And my aunt was shocked. She was shocked. And then I remember my sister was in the kitchen with my cousin, and I was like, yeah, you know what, like this is nothing, like I got this, like this is not gonna get me, like I'm tough, I'm strong, this is nothing, please, this is nothing, I can beat this. Boy, was I wrong, because right after that I went on the couch, okay? And mind you, my aunts, like, they have like currently 3 dogs, okay? 3 dogs and a cat. So basically I went on the couch, okay? And my cousin has this dog. She has this big dog, okay? And the dog is friendly, but like he's friendly, but he's also aggressive. Like he loves to give kisses and he loves to jump on people, okay? So I sat on the couch and the dog jumped on the couch, okay? And it's like any sort of noise, like loud noise, was starting to like have me triggered and have me scared. And so the dog was just staring at me, and as the dog is staring at me, he starts zooming out and zooming in. And then when I look at the dog, I start getting scared. Like the dog looks uncanny. He does not look natural. And then I don't know, something just clicked inside of me, and I just told my aunt, like, yeah, I'm high too. I'm scared, and I jumped into her arms. And then after that, it was hell. It was hell after that. I clung onto her, my arms around her darn neck, as my sister's also clinging onto her on the couch, because they have a couch. It's like those couches that are long, like here. It's like horizontal and vertical. Okay, she has like those big long couches, okay, that you can like literally lie down on, okay? So anyways, me and my sister are clinging onto my aunt for dear life, okay? And then I remember she's like, what have you done? Why did you do this? Okay. And then we were so scared because come. That's my cat, guys. That's Sage. Yes, he came back. As I was saying, we clung onto my aunt for dear life. And I remember my sister, she's like, yo, like I can't do this, like I have to go to the hospital, like I can't, like I'm scared. And my aunt is like, hold on, come. And so my aunt's like, girl, relax. Like we were shaking, we were scared because we didn't know what was going to happen. And I remember my aunt, she's like, you guys are going to be okay. I have a friend, she went through the exact same thing, it's okay, you're going to be okay. And then I remember she told us to sleep. She said sleep, okay? And so I was trying my best to sleep, but I couldn't, okay? And I remember as I was closing my eyes, I was twitching like crazy, okay? I was twitching like crazy, and I literally gripped onto her, okay? And then she forced me to sleep. And then I remember as she's forcing me to sleep, like I'm starting to hear these crazy things, right? And I remember something hit me. My aunt said that me and my sister, we were feeling anxiety, okay? We were extremely anxious, right? Because one of the side effects is paranoia and anxiety, and I felt extremely paranoid after, but during I felt such bad anxiety. Like I thought I felt anxiety, girl. That day I felt anxiety like I never did before. It was so bad. The moment my aunt said, you guys have anxiety and you need to sleep, it hit me. The moment she said that, I almost had a heart attack. When she said Joella, when she said guys, what she feels right now is anxiety. My anxiety started to it started happening. I started to get anxious, and it got bad. When she said that, my heart was like clenched. I could not breathe. I felt like I was like a zipped up backpack. You know when you zip up your backpack and it's stuck, and it's stuck, you can't get it to open. That's how my heart felt. I felt like I was stuck, like I couldn't breathe, like I was suffocating. And my aunt was just caressing our backs and telling us to sleep and it's all going to be okay. And I remember as my aunt was telling me to sleep, as she was saying that, it kept on repeating and repeating and repeating in my head, and then it turned into a song. It turned into like those sing-along children's songs. She was like, sleep, it's all going to be okay, sleep, it's all going to be okay. It kept repeating and it became a song. And at first it was like really it was like at first it was comforting, but after it was not, because I remember when she said that, all I saw was pitch darkness. I saw darkness. I was just like asleep, right? I was asleep. And I felt like I sunk into the couch when she said that. And then it kept repeating. And when it came a song, that's when it started feeling like torture. And then after that, I started hearing noises like from the house, right? And those noises that I would hear around the house would make me feel so uneasy, and it would make me hear and see really disturbing, uncomfortable things, right? And so it's like chaos in your brain, it's like chaos in your mind that you cannot calm down, okay? And it was just crazy. And I remember I was just sleeping. I can remember sleeping, and then I just felt so scared. I was so uncomfortable. Everything that was going around me was making everything worse in my head. Like in my brain, in my mind, things were going insane. First of all, I felt like I was going on a shroom trip because it was genuinely insane. I heard colors and I saw sounds. Like, I'm not kidding, I did. Like, that's the best description I can give you. Okay. And so essentially, like, I was like in a really bad place. Like, I remember I was just hearing stuff. Like, it's weird because like when I was high, I was seeing shapes and colors, and I was hearing like noises and sounds and music, right? And so whenever something would make me feel uncomfortable or like disgusted or whatever, I would see these weird shapes and colors that would cause me pain, and I would hear the most horrible music and the most horrible sounds, okay? And so I remember it was just hell. Like, I was just hearing the worst music, the worst noises. I was seeing the most weirdest shapes and colors, and it made me terrified. Okay, terrified. And then all of a sudden, I hear the Disney, the Disney intro. You know, when you watch a Disney movie, the Disney intro. Like, I heard that, and then all of a sudden, I hear these notes. And then I'll never forget this day, bro. I remember hearing the Disney intro, and then I remember hearing these like beautiful musical notes, and then all of a sudden I hear Lindsay Lohan. Okay, but Lindsay Lohan as a child. Okay, so I put two and two together. I'm like, okay, Parent Trap is on. The Parent Trap is on. The moment, mind you, first of all, before I heard that, like nothing was on the TV. You know, the noise that I would hear was of like somebody in the kitchen or of the dogs running or barking. Okay, so the TV was closed. Okay, somebody put the TV on. Somebody opened the TV, went on Disney Plus, and put the Parent Trap specifically on. Okay, my cousin, shout out to Fumo, you are a lifesaver. Okay, my cousin put on the Parent Trap. The moment my cousin put on the Parent Trap, everything went quiet, and then I started seeing these beautiful colors. I saw a lot of yellows, whites, pinks, this like light gray. I saw beautiful colors. I heard music, and it was beautiful, and it was peaceful. And then I remember I could feel like I had a smile on my face. It was just so therapeutic. I felt at peace. Oh my gosh, like I felt such peace when he put that on. Like everything, all the chaos and all the weird colors and shapes that I would see and all the weird sounds I would hear, the moment he put that on, it all disappeared, and I felt at peace, because before I felt tormented, I felt tortured. Okay. And it's like, I felt such peace, guys. I felt such peace. And it's like, there'd be moments, right? Because obviously in a movie, there's moments of conflict and stuff like that. So whenever a moment of conflict would show up, from the movie, it would directly affect me. Whenever it would happen, I would start seeing and hearing horrible things. So I had to think of good stuff to like overcome that, right? And so essentially, I got to a point where whenever I would think of something that caused me pain, or a certain person or whatever, it would cause me to see horrible things and hear horrible things. But when I would think of people I love or the things that I love, it would bring me happiness, it would bring me peace, it would make me see beautiful, peaceful things, and it would make me hear beautiful things, right? And so I remember like what, I could hear the Parent Trap going on, everything was fine. But the moment there was conflict, everything, became chaotic, and I would see crazy things. So that's when I started thinking of good things. I started thinking of things that brought me joy and comfort and peace. So I started thinking of my family and my friends, and it worked for a while, but it was only temporary. And so I was like scrambling to find something that brought me joy, but it would only be temporary, right? And so I remember I don't really remember, but it's like I remember for a while I was basically battling my mind and my soul. Okay. And so I remember I was like asleep, right? And I remember I woke up. And the thing is, I woke up, but my right eye was open. It was open for like a few seconds. Okay, a few seconds. I can't even describe to you what I saw and what I heard. Okay, I opened my eyes. I'm no longer because me and my sister, we were in the living room. Okay, when I opened my eyes, we were no longer in the living room. When I opened my eyes, I saw this oversaturated colors and shapes, and I heard the most horrific sound. Okay, no woman or man, no one should ever hear or see these things. I would not wish this on my worst enemy. Okay, I saw the most horrific things. Horrific. I basically saw hell. I saw the most horrific things. I heard death. Okay, I heard screams, like agonizing screams of like people dying. I heard death. I heard horrific things. I yelled. I screamed at the top of my lungs because I was so scared. And my aunt dragged me and forced me to sleep. I don't understand people who do that high. I don't understand people who get high and are awake, because I was already going through it. I was literally fighting for my life asleep. If I was doing this awake, I would have become schizophrenic. I would have become crazy for the rest of my life. It was horrific. Terrible. Traumatizing. I went back to sleep and it was hell all over. The Parent Trap could not help me. Yeah, a few parts, like when it was like a good, like whenever there was like those like wholesome cute moments, like yeah, it helped me, but only for a little bit. After that, it was just hell. And I was thinking to myself, because like my consciousness was still up, I can think, but like I'm not awake, right? And so I was like, why would I do this to myself? What have I done? And in my mind, in my brain, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm crazy. I don't want to be crazy like this. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? I was convinced that I was going to stay in that state forever. Like, I was convinced that I was going to stay crazy forever. I'm like, why would I do this to myself? Why? Because I kid you not, I felt trapped. When I was asleep, I felt trapped in my body. I felt conscious, but you're not awake. You're asleep, but you're asleep, right? But it's like deep down inside, you're conscious. You can tell what's going on. You can see what's going on, but you're not physically awake. You feel trapped in your body and you want to get out. You want to wake up, but you can't. I felt crazy. I felt trapped. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck like this forever. Why? Like, what did I do? I'm stuck. What did I do? I was scared. And then it got to a point, I was just terrified. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck like this forever. God, what did I do? And then I started to feel like I was dying. My body was extremely hot. I could not stop sweating. My heart was beating so fast and felt so tight. I was literally on the verge of a heart attack. I was gonna go into cardiac arrest because I was so anxious, because I was so scared, I was so uneasy. My body did not feel right. On top of that, I'm hearing the most horrific, demonic, crazy things. And I feel trapped. Like, I'm not like, I know I'm not crazy. But at the same time, I'm going through I'm seeing crazy things. And at the end of the day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be crazy forever. I don't want to be like this. I want to change. I can't stay like this. And then it hit me. I'm not alone. My sister's right there. What did I do? She is going through hell as well. Oh my gosh, I don't want this. I started to feel like I was dying, and then I convinced myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm dead. I'm dying. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, if I'm dying, what's going on with my sister? Please don't tell me she's dying. Please don't tell me she's dying. Please. And then it was insane. It was crazy. I remember this like it was yesterday. Like, this song brings me PTSD. I remember it was a scene in the movie. Here Comes the Sun was playing, right? And what was trippy was that I'm asleep, right? But I can see that I'm still in the living room, okay? But then there was this like glossed version on top of that. So on top of me being able to see I'm in the living room, it was like there was this glossed out version in front of me. And in that version, the paramedics bust in, and then they come to the house, and then they take our pulse, they take us to the hospital. My parents are there. They tell them what happened. My parents are crying. My sister's also there, crying. And then essentially, they say to the paramedics is like, yo, like, I haven't seen this in my 25 years, and like this is not looking too good. And essentially, the paramedics tell my parents that we're dying, and that my sister is dead, and that I'm not gonna make it and stuff. And when I was seeing and hearing this, I thought it was real. I thought, oh my gosh, the paramedics are here. What? The paramedics are here. They're saying that I'm dying. They're saying that my sister is dead. Like, what's going on? I'm so confused. Like, what? What do you mean I'm dying? What do you mean my sister's dead? Who dies from taking weed? What's going on? And then I was thinking, there's no way I'm dead. There's no way. And then I was like, I'm not gonna die, and I'm not gonna be known for dying because I was on weed. No. I remember I felt like I was dying, and I was seeing this play around in my brain. I'm like, huh? No, this is not real. I rebuke it. Like, I don't believe in this. This is not real. I'm alive. My sister's alive. She's going through it, but she's alive, and I'm alive. I don't accept this. And then I remember pure chaos again. It was a cycle again and again and again and again and again and again. It was never ending, and it was so torturous. I hated it so bad. And then I remember I was like, I hit rock bottom. It was so bad. I'm like, yeah, I'm crazy. I'm dying. And then all of a sudden, I feel like someone is walking towards me. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. All of a sudden, it's like everything stopped. And then there was like this moment of peace. There was this moment of peace. All of a sudden, I couldn't even see, but it wasn't even seeing. It was more of a feeling. But I could feel something walking to me. This bright light walking to me. And it was so beautiful, and it was so peaceful. You're not gonna guess who it was. It was Jesus. Yes, it was Jesus. Yeah, it was. I'm not kidding. Oh, Joella, what? You saw Jesus? Girl, you crazy. Like, you're crazy. No, I'm not. I'm not crazy. This is real. this is real. This happened. Okay, I was going through hell. Okay, I was going through hell. And Jesus himself came to me. And he walked toward me. And he was beside me. And he held my hand. And we didn't even speak with our tongue, with our words. We spoke telepathically. Okay? He held my hand. The moment he held my hand, I literally became my younger self. I became a little girl again. He kept on saying to me, he kept on reminding me that he loved me and that he's always going to be there for me and that he's not going to leave. He told me that he was not going to leave. He was going to be here with me until the high was over. And he did not lie. He was. I remember when that was happening, he was there with me. I kid you not. I was seeing hell and I was hearing horrible things. And Jesus was there. And he is the only reason, him, my family, and my friends are the only reason that I'm still here today. Okay? Because when I was going through hell, I was seeing and I was hearing and seeing these horrific things, guys. Like, I'm not kidding. The worst thing you can imagine hearing and seeing, I saw that. I saw it. And I wanted to I can't even explain it. I just wanted it to end. And it felt never ending. It felt like a cycle of horrific things. And Jesus was there with me. And I remember as the horrific stuff was happening to me, I started thinking of positive things. So I started listing off family members one by one. I would hear things and I would see things. I'm like, okay. So I was like, okay, I love my family. I love my friends. Okay, I love Sage, right? And then I started listing people off by name. Okay, every time I thought of something positive, or I thought of someone that has impacted my life in a good way, or I thought of something comforting, everything started to like become beautiful and brighter, right? So I started thinking, okay, I love my family, I love my friends. Okay, I'm like, okay, that's not enough. So I started listing people. I'm like, okay, I love Destiny and Maravelia. Okay, my sisters. Okay, I love my parents, I love my grandparents. Okay, I started listing off my cousins' names. Okay, I started listing off my friends' names. I'm like, okay. I started listing off my cat. I'm like, okay, it's working. Okay. I love Christmas. Okay, I love summer. I love my birthday. Okay. It was working. And I'm like, okay, I love my family, I love my friends. Okay, what else do I like? I like art, I like to paint, I like going to the beach, I like my mom's cooking and stuff like that. It was helping me, but it was only temporary, right? And then after that, I would see hell. And after that, I started thinking, okay, Jesus, okay, the Bible, okay, angels of God, okay, Jesus, okay. Every single time I mentioned Jesus, everything started to change, okay? And it was like this inner battle with myself. I was literally fighting myself, okay? Whenever I would mention the name Jesus, I would see the most beautiful colors, the most beautiful shapes. I would literally hear the most beautiful sounds, and I would hear music that you would only hear in heaven. I literally heard the music of heaven. I literally heard these beautiful chords, these beautiful sounds. I remember this one point, like, I was just listing off Jesus, I love you, Jesus. And I remember when I was saying those things, like, around me in the house, the dogs were running, right? And so when I was saying that, he turned the dogs running into the sound of like horses running around this field. I was hearing these like beautiful horse hooves running in this meadow. I started hearing this woman and her baby laugh, and it was therapeutic. I remember I started smelling my mother's cooking. I remember I just heard harmony and this beautiful symphony. I was looking and I was seeing these beautiful, peaceful colors. And I remember whenever I would mention him, it was so good, guys. When I would mention Jesus, and when I would remember that he loves me and that he's here for me and that he's never gonna leave me, I was like, I can't even explain it. Like, whenever I would do that, I would always be hit with like this new wave of laughter and happiness and peace. And I remember this one point, I just felt peace. Okay, I felt peace beyond understanding. Okay, I just felt this immense sense of happiness and just peace. And it was like that for like a good hour. I was just there, literally asleep, smiling. I was in peace. I was in such peace and joy and happiness. I just wanted to stay there forever. And I remember at one point, I'm like, maybe it's okay if I die, maybe it's okay if I die, I wanted to die and I wanted to just let go. I was ready. I was ready to let go and die and be with Jesus. I was ready. Because being with him and mentioning him and just being around his love, it was so beautiful. I saw the most beautiful colors and I heard the most beautiful things, and I just felt such peace. I literally felt like I was in my Father's arms. Okay, I felt such peace, and I did not want to go, and I wanted to be there forever, and I was ready to die and be with him. But then he was like, girl, it's not your time. It's not your time, girl. It's not your time. Like, you need, like, your sister's right there. Your sister's right there. Your sisters need you. Your family needs you. You haven't done what I want you to do yet. It's not your time. And I was sad because I wanted to be with him forever. I wanted to go. I did not want to be here in this world. I wanted to go up to heaven. I did not want to be here. I wanted to be with my Heavenly Father. I didn't want to be here. But yeah. And I remember he was with me throughout the whole thing. I remember he is the only thing, like my family, my friends, they helped me find happiness, but they didn't really help me find that true, everlasting, peaceful happiness. Jesus did that for me. But my friends, my family, they helped me get to that sane point. But like, Jesus is the one that truly kept me sane the entire time, because I lost my mind. I lost my damn mind. I lost my damn mind. I became schizophrenic. I was crazy. But Jesus brought me back. He brought me back. He literally was my lighting rod. He literally is the light in the darkness. Like, he literally emerged from the darkness, and he was literally the brightest white light you could ever see. Okay, he was literally my Lord and Savior. He is, but he was my Savior, guys. Like, he is, but like, he saved my life again. But I don't deserve it, but he did, and I thank him, because wow, that was a crazy, horrific experience. And I remember as he was there, I was still struggling. And I remember this, like, at this one part, I hit rock bottom again, and this time I felt like he wasn't there. Like, I felt like I was trapped and alone. And I started remembering I'm not alone. I started remembering Jesus is here. And it's like I felt like I was in a hole and I had to dig myself out. And I'm like, okay, Jesus is here. And it's like whenever I would think of Jesus, I'm opening up the hole even more. But then it's like somebody kept on putting, kept on burying me. They kept on putting more and more, like dirt on me. And it's like I tried to break out, but I couldn't. They kept putting, dirt. And then I remember, this is gonna sound crazy, but I remember I felt interlinked with my sister. I felt like I could hear and see, like I felt interlinked with her. Like, I felt like I saw her soul. Like, I didn't see her soul, but like I felt like I could hear and see what she was thinking. I felt interlinked. Like, we were like, to me, we were talking. I was talking to my sister, even though I was asleep on this side of the couch and she was asleep over there. We were communicating. We were talking. We were interlinked. And I remember she was scared. She was terrified. She was scared. She was terrified. And I remember she was thinking of like TikTok songs, whatever. She was scared and she was terrified. And I told her, Maha, I'm here. Okay, I'm here. I'm not going to leave you. I'm here. Just think of Jesus. Just think of positive things. Just think of Jesus. Don't think about your TikTok songs. Think of Jesus. Think of positive things. And it's all going to be okay. And she's like, I can't. And I'm like, it's okay. I'm here for you. I'm going to help you get out of this. It's okay. So I started saying Jesus for the both of us. And I was just saying Jesus. And it's like, I don't know what was going on, but it's like something wanted me to be trapped in my mind. Like, something wanted me to see and hear these horrific things. Something wanted me trapped. Something wanted me to stay crazy. But I refused. Okay? I remember like, I thought that my sister was dead and she was dying. And I'm like, wait, my sister's not dead. She's right there. She's not dead. I would feel it in my soul. I would know if she was gone. She's not. She's here. She's struggling, but she's here. And I'm going to help her. It's my duty as her big sister, to be there for her, to protect her, and to help her. And I will do that until my dying breath. And so for the both of us, I was saying Jesus, Holy Bible, Jesus, 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 Jesus. And as I was saying it, I was digging myself and her, digging the both of us out of this hole. I was just digging us out of this hole. And boom, we emerged. And I was just saying Jesus, 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 Jesus. Okay? And I was just saying his name constantly as a battle cry. Constantly. Because I know he was the only way that I was going to find happiness and that I was going to be sane and normal again. Okay, I knew that with him, I could do all things. Okay, and I know what you're thinking, Joella, you took edibles and, you were just going to be high for a few hours. Like, it was all going to pass anyways. What you're saying is crazy. What I'm saying is not crazy. What I'm saying is my experience. What I'm saying is my testimony. What I'm saying is what truly happened to me. Okay, and this is my experience. This is my lived experience. Okay, that's what I saw. That's what I heard. That's what I felt. Okay, I saw hell. I heard hell. Jesus was the only way out. I kid you not. If I did not know Jesus, I would have literally lost my mind. I would have lost my mind that whole week. I would not have recovered. I would not have been normal. I would have been in a psych ward because I saw horrific things. And it's because of Jesus I saw heaven. I heard heaven. I got a glimpse. I got a taste of heaven. It's because of Jesus that I found peace. I found happiness. I found joy. I found sanity. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And so I remember I was just going through it. But with Jesus, it was all better. The mention of his name, the thought of him, just made everything better. It made everything so easier, so much better. And I remember I kept on swallowing to remind myself and to remind my body that I'm alive, because at one point I was going to have a heart attack. And I remember my other sister, she walked around. I could tell that she was walking around. And I remember she came and she's like, okay, 1 hour has passed. This is the 𝒕𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒𝒒. My sister was just walking around and telling us the hour and her name. I don't know why she did that. I think she did it to comfort us, to remind us how long it's been and stuff like that. But just hearing my sister's voice made me feel so much better as well. Thinking of my family made me feel so much better. And I remember because at one point, obviously I felt trapped in my body and I wanted to get out and break out, but I couldn't. Okay, I felt trapped. I felt like I was interlocked in my body. But then eventually, 20 or 24 hours had passed and I started tossing and turning and I started moving, right? And then I remember I woke up. It was literally the next day. Okay, it was Wednesday. Me and my sister were on that couch all day. Okay, we're on that couch sleeping it off all day. I know my cousins and my sister and my aunt and my uncle, I know they think we're crazy. But we slept on that couch all day. And I woke up and I remember my sister's friend told me, if you feel hungry, eat, and if you're thirsty, drink a bunch of water. I remember I woke up to a bowl of snacks or whatever. And I remember before I woke up, my cousin came around. She gave us anxiety oil to put in our mouths, because when you're going through this, you're feeling extremely paranoid and anxious. When I was going through this, I felt extremely anxious. I felt paranoid after, when I was getting sober. But anyways, I woke up. My aunt or my cousins, they had this huge bowl of snacks they put in the middle for us. And so I was just snacking on it. I had the munchies. I was starving. My throat was so dry. My mouth was so dry. I was just eating. I was drinking a lot of water. I wasn't on my phone or watching TV or anything, because that doesn't help. And I was slowly recovering. I remember I went to the washroom. Before I went to the washroom, I told my uncle, I'm like, yeah, so I'm high, and I just want to tell you that if I pass out while I come back from the washroom, can you please put me on the couch, because I'm not gonna be able to walk. Okay. And so he was confused and gagged. So I went to the washroom and I was able to walk back and go back to the couch, right? And so he told my aunt, and they started speaking in another language, so we wouldn't understand what they were saying, but I knew what they were saying, right? And so essentially asked my aunt, like, yo, like, are they okay? Like, he was scared, he thought we were dying, but she's like, no, they're not, they just took edibles or whatever, and they just have to sleep it off, it's fine. I smelled so bad. I smelled so bad. The moment I was able, I took a hot shower, because hot showers help, and I reeked, okay? And also, when I was doing this, my body temperature was so high, I could not be in sweat, so I had to put my shorts on. But anyways, I was just drinking a bunch of water, eating a bunch of, like, snacks. I ate so much pasta that week. I remember doing tasks, like making myself food, was so hard because I still had delayed reactions. It's like you're touching something, but like it doesn't even feel real. It doesn't feel real. Walking and doing things was so hard. I felt like I was going to pass out. I felt like I was going to fall. I felt weak. And it was just such an exhausting experience. I was literally asking the internet for help because I did not know what was going on. Nobody really knew what to do. So I was asking the internet for help and stuff like that. And I was eating a lot. I was drinking a lot of water. I was checking on my sister. I woke up first and I checked her pulse to make sure that she was alive. She was, thank God. And my other sister, she told me that she also took edibles, but she took less. And I found out that, like, maybe like a few days later, and I was like, okay, but like, I didn't know that she was on edibles as well, because she was more calm and collected. But yeah, and I just ate a lot, drank a lot of water. I slept a lot, took a lot of naps, prayed a lot because I was scared. I remember I was mostly scared of sleeping because I did not want to see and hear horrific things. So obviously I would pray before going to bed and waking up in the morning. I would read my Bible. I would literally fall asleep with the gospel on, because I did not want to go to sleep because I was scared. I remember this one point when I was high, my aunt put this prayer on the TV, because she'll put prayers on the TV, during the day or the afternoon or whatever. And she put on like one of those like 1 hour long prayer videos on YouTube. And I remember I could hear it, and it just put me in this sense of peace, and I was just smiling the whole time. And I also and it's like I don't even know what to say, guys, but like that experience was disgusting. It was crazy. Please do not do drugs. Do not. Please don't. And I never realized how much of an impact, how much of a significance The Parent Trap has had on me. I didn't realize how much of a comfort movie that is. Like, wow. When my cousin put that on, I felt so much better. And I love and appreciate all my friends and my family. Like, without them, like, I would be boring, and without God, I would be dead. Without Jesus, I'd be dead. I'd be crazy. I'd be dead. I would have been buried right next to my brother had he not saved my life when I was a baby. That experience was disgusting, guys. It was ghetto. It was literally traumatic experience. Like this, like, it's traumatic. This is something that you go to therapy for. That's something you go to therapy for, but it was crazy. It was a crazy experience. After that, I just ate, drank, napped a lot. Yeah, I ate and drank, I napped a lot, I prayed a lot, I listened to gospel music a lot, and after that, I just felt extremely tired, extremely weak. I couldn't really walk. My mind was extremely foggy, like it wasn't clear, like I couldn't think clear or straight. I couldn't distinguish whether things were real or not. I kept on reminding myself, Joella, you're high, it's going to pass, you're not crazy. I had to repeat it to myself, Joella, you're not crazy, you're just high, it's all going to pass. As I was sleeping, or before I would sleep, I'm like, Joella, you're not crazy, you're just high, it's going to pass. Like, I just had to tell myself, you're just high, it's going to pass. And it's like, as the days went by, things got less and less intense, and it wasn't spiraling as much. My thoughts came to me like maybe like 3 weeks later. I didn't recover it until like 3 or 4 weeks. My thoughts, I couldn't really think straight. I couldn't really tell, like I could tell things, like for example, I'm looking at this picture, like I can tell that's a picture, but like I had a doubt in my mind. I had that paranoia, right? So I couldn't distinguish what was real or not. Whenever I'd watch TV or go on my phone, it was really hard to see or focus on what was like going on. I remember I was on Instagram or YouTube, and I'm like, what am I looking at? Like, this isn't real. Like, what is going on? I was so confused. Doing things was hard. The recovery was like 4 weeks. Okay, they said, oh, you're gonna recover in a week. It took me 4 weeks. My body was hit hard, hit extremely hard, because obviously it was my first time, and I took a lot to don't do what I did. But it was hit hard. The recovery time was hard, but I just took it one day at a time. The moment I got home, I kid you not, the moment I got home, when I got home, my vision was no longer blurry. I could see straight. I can think straight. I no longer had those doubts. But I'm not gonna lie, like when I would sleep, things would spin. Like it would literally spin like crazy. And I was still a little bit paranoid, but like I recovered after 4 weeks. I'm so glad that experience is over, because when you go through it, as I was going through it, it felt like this never ending cycle, and I truly felt like I was dying. Not only that, but I truly felt like I was trapped. Like I truly felt like I was going to be crazy forever. I felt like I was going to be an insane person forever. Like I was trapped, like it was never going to change. And I'm grateful that was not the case. Like obviously you're gonna be like, Juwala, like that, like you're gonna be like, Juwala, obviously when you get high, like it's going to end in a few hours. Like that's the whole point. It's gonna end in a few hours. You're not gonna stay crazy. But it's like, you don't know that. I've heard people take edibles and they become literally psychotic and crazy. Everybody's body is different. Everybody reacts differently to certain things. I reacted to it really badly. Obviously my sister obviously went through it, but it's like we're two different people. We went through things differently. Not everybody goes through this. Not everybody goes through something the same. Me and my sister, we went through hell. Okay, my hell was not hers. Okay, it was not hers. And like, to conclude, that was the worst experience of my life. I do not know why I did it. I wish I never did. It was hell. I heard and saw horrific things. You cannot, no, never again. Like I'm actually traumatized. Like the smell of weed, just thinking of weed, smelling it, it's disgusting. Get that away from me. Get weed, marijuana, THC, CBD, whatever. Get that away from me. I'm not trying to be rude, but get it away from me. I am traumatized. It is literally triggering. It's triggering. I can't. Get that away from me. Never again. Never will I touch, will I drink, will I snore, will I eat. No. It's not for me. No, never again. I am against it. Strongly against it. I advise y'all to not take it. Okay? If you take it, to each their own, do as you will. I'm just going to say, hey, you might see and you might hear some crazy stuff. Don't tell me that I didn't warn you. Okay, you're like, hey, you're going to be going through a roller coaster. Okay, yeah. Never again will I ever do that. Please do not do drugs. Do not do drugs. Do not do drugs. Don't. It's not worth it. Being high is not what people make it out to be. It's really not. Really not. The worst experience of my life. Horrible. It really gave me a different perspective on life. It made me love Jesus even more. It made me want to get even closer to him, because without him I would have been gone. Crazy for life. I'm not kidding you. I know myself, and I know, had I not had Jesus, I would have been crazy. I would have been in a mental hospital for years. Okay, I would have gone insane forever. Either that or I would have literally died. I kid you not. I was on the verge of having cardiac arrest. I almost had a heart attack. Like, I'm not kidding. It's the thought of Jesus and my family and friends that literally saved my life. Had it not been Jesus and my family, I would have been dead. I'm not kidding. I know what you're thinking, Joella. You can't die from being on edibles. You can't die from being on weed. Who told you that? Yes, you can. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's body reacts to things differently. My body is pure. Yes, my body is pure. I don't do substances. I don't drink alcohol like that. I don't do these type of things. Okay, my body is pure. Okay, so when a foreign thing like weed enters my body and knocks it down like it did, my body is going to crumble. Okay, my body is going to crumble because it's not used to that. Okay, not only it's not used to it, I'm a premature baby. I was born at 25 weeks. Okay, I was born really tiny with organs that were not developed. Okay, and that affected me my whole life. Okay, it made me weaker. It made my immune system and things like that weaker than the average person. Okay, so when I fall down, when I get hit, it takes a while to get back up. So when you take 40 milligrams of weed for the first time, your body is going to be assassinated, essentially. It is going to be wrecked apart. Okay? It's going to be wrecked. It's going to be wrecked. Okay, I should have died that day. Literally, on that couch, I was shaking, extremely hot, hyperventilating, not even hyperventilating, extremely hot, shaking. My heart was clutching itself, beating too fast. I could have had a heart attack. For all we know, he could have laced us. The weed could have been laced. That man was sketchy. He came around the block in a broken down gray car, hot boxing. Okay, we could have died, but by the grace of God, I'm here telling my testimony, telling my story, telling this crazy experience. My sister is here. My sisters are both here, thanks to God. I know we're thinking, Wallah, no, weed is not like that. You just smoke it, and then a few hours later, you're going to be sober. That's not the case for everybody, okay? Maybe some people have died, maybe some haven't, okay? But I'm just grateful that I'm still here. I'm grateful that my sisters are here and that we all are sane and normal again, because Lord knows me and my younger sister, Lord knows we lost our damn mind. Please don't even try to comfort me. Don't try to comfort me. Okay, don't try to comfort me for taking weed. Don't try and comfort my little sister for taking weed. Please do not. It is over. God has forgiven us. Okay, it is over. We are never doing that again. Okay? We're never doing that. I am truly against it. Please don't do it. I'm trying to save you from going insane. I'm trying to save your sanity and your mental health. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm glad that I don't have nightmares about that, because Lord, it was truly traumatic. But I'm so happy it's over. I'm so grateful it's over, and I'm glad that I can share to probably or maybe help people, because girl, weed is no joke. It's no joke. Edibles are no joke. I thought it was gonna hit me like 2 to 4 hours later. It hit me a good 5 minutes later. 5 minutes later, I'm laughing like crazy when nothing's funny. I'm laughing with a straight face. I'm repeating the same words in song. Everything starts going in slow motion. My reactions are delayed. I can't think straight. I can't see clearly. I am starting to doubt reality. I don't know what's real and what's not. The moment I go to sleep, I start hearing and seeing hell, crazy things. I start to hear death and horrific screams. I literally go through hell. I am trapped and tormented in my own mind. Does that sound fun to you? Is that something you want to do? No, it's not. No, stay away from it. Please, stay away. It's not worth it. It doesn't even taste good. It's not worth it. I'm gonna stick to my actual real gummies. I'm gonna stick to things that make me feel peaceful, happy, content, that leave my mind intact, that leave my mind normal and not insane. Because literally, when I was recovering, my mind was working in slow motion. Like, my brain was not working. It was working so slowly I could not form a single thought. You could ask me a question, I can't answer you. I would speak delayedly. Like I couldn't even speak properly, I couldn't think properly, could barely walk, could barely do nothing. It literally, like, how can I say this? It just makes you, I don't know, it just doesn't make you right, you know, it just doesn't make you feel good. It just like it just doesn't make you good. It just doesn't make you good, guys. It's just not worth it. It's detrimental to your mental and physical health. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. Wow. Reliving this and saying this has made me sweat. Like, it's crazy. Like, that day has given me PTSD, guys. Every time, not even every time, but if somebody plays Here Comes the Sun, I will punch them because it brings me back to that traumatic day. I cannot hear that song. I don't want to ever have to hear that song again. The shirt that I wore that day used to give me such PTSD after, but I've reclaimed it and I can wear it proudly. But that was a crazy 2 weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks. It was crazy. Never again will I do that. My advice: stay away from drugs, stay away from edibles. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Anything that can be detrimental to your physical and emotional and spiritual health, don't do it. Anything that can like affect your brain, you know, don't do it, because your brain literally starts to act so slow. Your brain does not function. You cannot do anything. I couldn't even cook. I couldn't even clean. I couldn't even eat. I could barely wash myself. I could barely brush my teeth. I couldn't even call my phone. I couldn't hear. I couldn't understand properly. I could barely talk. When I talk, like I couldn't even talk. It's not worth it. Okay, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not. It's not. I'm trying to save your life. I'm trying to save your lives. I'm trying to save your lives. Because y'all need to be here sane. And without God, without Jesus, bro, life is not worth living. Like, without him, I would have been crazy. Obviously, y'all can do what you want with this information. Some people are not going to care. Some people are going to think I'm crazy. Some people are going to think I'm annoying or dumb or stupid. And I don't care. This is my story. This is a part of my story. I felt like it was time to tell it. I felt the urge to tell it. Okay? And I'm glad I did. And I know God is happy. And that's all that matters. Okay? And so, thank you guys for listening to this crazy story time. Like, comment down below, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And until next time, bye.
You can trust in me. I can. You said